My name is Raymond Tempest, and I was convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to 85 years at the Adult Correctional Institution for a crime I did not commit. When Sue got out of the hospital, she, was back at the same house. She invited me, my wife Jane, and the kids to that house where that murder happened. I didn't have a problem going there. I went to that house, we sat in that room, and little Nicole sat right on my lap. And little Nicole, memory of the bad man, because he'd come up and picked her up and put her in a hallway.
Right.
This individual.
And there was another
But
person
if
she saw.
think about it. If I'm that bad man, and I know kids have photostatic memories and blah blah. There's no way I'm going to that house. But anyway, we're sitting in that house, and Sue and her husband looking at me, and Sue says, "Beaver, I know it wasn't you. I told the police it wasn't you." And as the years went on, things just, I don't know what they said to her, what they did to her. She never came to my defense after that. I want the state of Rhode Island to know that, what happened to me was totally wrong. And I mean, it happens all over the country, prosecutors. They want that win. They don't care what they got to do to get a win. And it's a shame that happens, It wasn't just about me, I lost my father in prison, my mother, my brother, my sister, my 3 kids suffered. I was in a police station the same day the murder happened, later in the day. And not long after that, I knew something was, I knew. Because a lot of people didn't know what the real story, why I got thrown in the picture like that, because my father was a cop. Mm-hmm. There was animosity back then with these guys. They were younger, but then my brother Gordon got on the force, and he was a straight shooter. He ended up busting a fellow officer and put him in a federal penitentiary for being a dirty cop. And all these cops over the years, they were all, like a clique, all in cahoots.
There were factions there.
Oh yeah, and
the good cops, bad cops.
So when this murder happened, and these individuals that were investigating, Pennington, Connell, Rumblard, there was 2 of them. Their thing was to ruin my father and my brother and the Tempest, name. And they made it look like, the Tempest family is a big, powerful family. The father's a cop for high sheriff, the brother's lieutenant, then the cover-up and all that stuff. That was all made up. That was all they're doing. None of that ever happened. They got me leaving the crime scene, going right to my father's house and telling my father, "Dad, I'm in trouble, I need, And me, to do something like that, I couldn't bunk school without showing guilt. I'm gonna walk into a police station and show, act like nothing's happened? Impossible. Who does that? I don't even think the monsters can do it. It literally put my father, it crippled my father. I seen it, it worked on, He was with me every day at trial, every day. And, when time comes for the verdict, it just ate at him. My mother used to say, Dad's doing good, after a while it just ate at him. He'd sit in a chair and just look out the window, hoping that he'd see me coming, walking up the walkway someday, but things just didn't, pan out.
What was prison like?
God, it was scary. It was a scary place. You've never been there, when I got convicted and they took me away, and you don't know, your mind's spinning 100 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Where you're gonna go, what's it gonna be like. It was hell.
He doesn't have any record, so he's never been in prison before for a day.
I mean, I had to watch my back. I'm coming from a family of cops. My brother was a cop. He put a lot of people in there. I was very angry, and it was consuming me, and I can't live like this. I was mad as hell.
When you were in prison?
Absolutely. especially when I lost my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, and I just kind of consumed me. And I said, my God, this wouldn't happen if these people didn't do this, and turned my life upside down. I'm not gonna lie. I was angry. It was making me sick. I changed I don't know. I just woke up one day. I said, I gotta stop. I didn't want to become a monster, and and that would have made their life better. They would have loved that.
Who?
The prosecutors. Kidding me? Oh, they were trying to show that I was a monster. You know what I mean? They were trying to find something that I did in the prison system, from drugs to fights to
They were
stabbings.
trying to find something to say he was not a good inmate.
And
I mean, like,
you
there's
spent
nothing.
24 years in prison and try to come out
It's
with a
pretty unheard of.
try it.
When you're innocent in prison and you're there all that time, it's pretty unheard of that you don't have a violation. It's like
Every day you have to bite your tongue in there to not get in trouble. Because you're around monsters, idiots, knuckleheads.
Why would all these people lie?
that's a question of the year.
Yeah, that's what it is. God, you can only imagine what they tell these witnesses. I mean, some of these witnesses were they were interviewed and badgered and year after year after year. And I remember my ex-sister-in-law telling me they were after her. They made her, they just broke her down. She couldn't take it no more. They were doing, making threats against her. I mean, one time she got busted. She had a little bit of cocaine. They scared the life out of her. They said, listen, you're going to jail.
Lose your kids.
You're going to lose your kids. And, this went on for years and years. Not just her, all of them. Just like Danny. Danny Shaw was telling the truth from, you know what I mean? He was telling. Yeah.
Danny Shaw.
He was telling it to her. He just couldn't take it anymore. He said, all right, you want me to lie? I'm going to lie.
Right.
That's how I got indicted. They
He
used
had nothing
him.
to do with it.
He just said it. He said whatever they wanted to say to get me in trouble. I mean, it should have never happened. Ryan should have corrected this a long time ago. That's his responsibility. When somebody's purging himself, somebody's lying, and you're the man running the grand jury, that should have stopped right there. That was his responsibility. He never did it. Kilmartin never did it, and they just went for it. I hate him. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna. What am I gonna lie?
Of course not.
I do hate him, and I should
You
be
have to say whatever
punished.
you want.
He should be. Ryan shouldn't even be doing whatever law firm he works for. He shouldn't even. He should have been reprimanded a long time ago. Some type of discipline, something. I mean, I wanted to be exonerated fully, and maybe someday I will, because things are still happening, with the Innocence Project, and I still have the options down the road if some new evidence comes up, DNA or word of mouth, I can come back into the courts.
And will you?
Absolutely.
If we get new evidence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Without a doubt.